Here we go!
And here we are, folks. Welcome to Mario Kart DS, released in 2005 for the Nintendo DS. Wow, who'd have thought that, just going off on the title? This game is, first of all, this game is a huge milestone because this is the last game in my Road to Mario Kart Wii series, because logically, after Mario Kart DS, the next Mario Kart game was Mario Kart Wii, so that means that the series is going to stop after this one, and whenever we reach 50 subscribers, that's when the series finale will take place, which is, you know, when we've reached Mario Kart Wii at the end of the big road that we've been going so far. Hard to believe it's already about to end, honestly. I mean, we went through this pretty quickly. So many Mario Kart games, and yet all of it was able to be completed in like a matter of 6 days, but that all doesn't matter. We are in Mario Kart DS now, and there is a lot to showcase for this game. First of all, probably the fact that this was the first DS game ever to be compatible with the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, or WFC, which the servers for that are shut down by now, obviously. They are long gone. It also had a huge multiplayer mode. You could connect with so many other people's DS consoles. It even had things like download play, so even if you didn't have Mario Kart DS, you could still play, but you would be forced to play as Shy Guy. But none of that matters, because unfortunately, it is hard to configure this game to play online nowadays, and even then, I don't think I know anyone else who has the game right now and would be willing to play. So, like always, we're going to be doing the single player modes. And even then, there's a lot to show you, because sure, you have your typical Grand Prix modes, the time trials, and of course single player versus and battle mode. But what's this down here? Missions? That's right, this game has something that no other Mario Kart before had ever done, and unfortunately no other Mario Kart after would ever reintroduce. A mission mode, in which you would go through all these levels, which included usually like up to 8 missions and a boss fight at the end. And depending on how well you would do in these missions, you would get a ranking that could go from like a B, C, A to a 1, 2 or 3 star rank. And essentially those who want to, the completionists I guess, are gonna try to get 3 star ranks in every single mission. I have done so on my original DS, however since I'm playing this on a, trying to avoid Nintendo here, I'm playing this on a totally legitimate DS, just a different one, not mine, so therefore I haven't gotten as good here yet. And some missions can be pretty tough, and I haven't even completed all the levels here yet. But we're not gonna show the missions just yet, but don't worry, I will get to those because they are really interesting and I do want to show them off. This game also had a pretty neat battle mode, balloon battle, and shine runners. Shine runners is basically, it's like Shine Thief from Mario Kart Double Dash, but a little different. Instead of only being one shine that you have to, you know, keep as long as you can, now there's multiple shines, and you're going to want to try to have as many as possible. And I think it's also like a little bit of a knockout mode, because, you know, after a time, people that don't have shines get eliminated. Balloon battle is classic, of course. Single player versus mode is exactly what it sounds like. Time trials is time trials, and Grand Prix is what we are doing today. And oh yeah, I think I should mention one last thing that's really special about this game. Take a look at the front of this vehicle here. It's about to turn over. Take a look at that front emblem. That look familiar? You might not be able to tell, but that is me. You can draw your own custom emblem in this game, and it will be applied to your vehicle of choice. So, let's say you draw like, I don't know, you want to draw the blue shell, for example, as an emblem. You can do that and it'll be on there. In this case, I just decided to draw a nice green circle, and of course myself, my 8-bit self. And yeah, that is my emblem now. And I genuinely wish they would bring this function back, because it's so cool. I mean, yeah, it's hard to see in this case, but still, it adds a lot of customization to the game. Alright, so, this is not the final character roster. There are characters that you will unlock over time. So I personally say we should probably start this game off with, you know what, let's start it off with Luigi.
Oh yeah!
So he's got 2 options for vehicles here. We have the standard Luigi and the Poltergust 4000, which is the one that I'm going to go with because it's based on such a cool invention. And yeah, I guess we shall start with the Mushroom Cup. This track, many people would say, is the most forgettable ever. Figure 8 circuit. I personally think that it does deserve to come back, at least in my opinion. I don't know. There's something about these simple yet addicting introduction stages. Something about them, I don't know. that I really like. Also, the music for this is pretty damn good. I mean, yeah, this music is also in like Mario Circuit, but I don't know, I like it nonetheless. And now, you might have noticed, obviously, since we're playing on the DS, we have 2 screens, which allows us to look at the bottom screen, and it shows us what items which player currently has, as well as what item we have, and if there's a banana on the road, it will show that. This bottom screen is broken in some cases, because you can perfectly line up your bananas with where other computers are. It's basically like it's like you can look back without actually being able to look behind you. Obviously, the button for that still isn't here. That first got introduced in Mario Kart Wii, but you don't really need to look back because you can always just look down at the bottom screen and you can tell where the other racers are right behind you, and you can perfectly snipe them. And along with that, since it shows what items other people have, you can tell whenever someone's about to use a shock or a blue shell, for example, and you can make use of that perfectly. So when you know for a fact that second is like right behind you, for example, and you see someone has a blue shell, you can stop, like, you know, you can just take a break for a little bit, let the second person pass you, let them take the blue shell hit, and then, you know, you'll just go for it and easily win. That's why I personally think this double screen thing is incredibly cool, but also really damn broken. You can also make the map zoom out if you click on it or tap it using a touchscreen. I can't do that just yet because it's hard for me to do so. But it'll zoom out and show you the whole map instead of just a small little part that you are currently driving on. But generally, I prefer to have it like this, and it always warns me of what is going on currently. And I even tried a challenge once, where I would try to play through a couple of versus races just using the bottom screen. Yep, just the bottom. And sure enough, it's possible, and I'd even go so far as to say it's kind of fun. Now this track right here, I remember a lot because this was also brought back in Mario Kart Wii. A lot of people say this track isn't really all too intuitive, and I'll give it that. It is essentially just a giant circle, and it doesn't really have too much of a Yoshi feeling aside from the egg. Like, if you took that out of here, as well as these little posters here that say something something Yoshi, there is not too much Yoshi stuff about this. It's just cascades. There's nothing Yoshi about this aside from the egg. That's all. So I can see why many people probably don't like this track. Me personally, I think it's totally fine. And oh yeah, a few interesting things to mention about this game. First of all, you were able to see how someone had the shock down there. Now, this is the only game that I know of where the final lap music is actually affected by the shock as well. Like, you know how the normal music for a race usually gets distorted and stuff, but in all previous games, as far as I know anyway, the next lap or final lap jingles were still normal. This is the only game that I know of where that is not the case, and they also sound corrupted. And I kinda don't like that, but that's okay. Now, the drifting in this game. First, you might think, oh, this is just like the normal drift that we have nowadays, especially because considering how big of a jump we made from Mario Kart Double Dash, it is now kind of in the same vein as it is nowadays, where you start off with the blue one, and then it eventually turns orange, instead of it being orange first, and then blue. Now, that is true, however, one, you don't even get a boost from the blue one, so that one's practically useless. You only get a boost from the orange one. And on the other hand, this is the last game where the drifting was still original or different from how it is, until it eventually became the way that it is nowadays. You don't gain the drift automatically, you know, by drifting over a long period of time. Instead, you have to go from left to right, and that will build up your drift. So just by drifting like this, you can see the drift wouldn't really build until I eventually start going into the other direction. And what this essentially means is that you can also do this. You can build up a boost incredibly fast. That wasn't the perfect showcase of it, but on a straightaway, for example, you can just do boosts like every other second. And this method has gotten quite infamous in the Mario Kart DS scene, where it is referred to as snaking. Where, yeah, you can probably tell where they got that name from. You're just going from left to right, constantly boosting and stuff, kind of like a snake. And obviously, this was extremely broken because it just allowed people to get a a turbo boost from drifting literally so often that it just became so competitive. People that didn't know how to do it, or that it even existed, could not keep up, and neither could the CPUs ever. And that is why Nintendo decided we cannot keep it like this. Like, the drifting has to change. Oh, there's the blue shell, by the way. Still has wings at the moment. Love that. But yeah, that's why they decided, hey, for the next installment of Mario Kart, we need to change how drifting works, as well as how you get the boosts from it. And so that's when they decided, let's just make it timing based, where you just need to keep drifting and eventually your boost will charge up. This makes it fair for everyone, where those who, you know, can't snake fast enough will now no longer be at a disadvantage. And those who are good at snaking are no longer gonna have some automatic win method. Now, a lot of people on the internet, and trust me when I say a lot, I've heard this so many times, say that they genuinely prefer snaking over the way drifting works nowadays. And I can see where they're coming from. I'll be honest, I guess I can see how snaking has more skill involved other than just drifting normally and then waiting for the drift to boost, for the drift boost to build up. But I can understand why. I can also understand why Nintendo had to change it and stuff. And I can definitely see why some people would consider it unfair. So ultimately, I can understand why people would prefer snaking. But my personal favorite way of drifting is still the one that was introduced in Mario Kart Wii, and since then has basically remained the same up until today. But still, snaking is one of the many things that makes Mario Kart DS interesting. I stopped there for a second so I could hit Toad with the blue shell as well. Luckily that was successful. Now, aside from snaking, there's a few other really interesting and also kind of, broken things about this game. First things first, and this is probably the biggest and actually unfair thing in the game, the red shells. Red shells nowadays have this reputation of just, you know, you can't get rid of them. Once you throw them, they are going to hit the target unless something really ultra specific happens. They will always hit the target. Back then, for example, in Mario Kart Wii, there were certain things that could actually stop the red shells. And they weren't all that smart either. They were very easily guidable, like into walls and stuff. If you just threw them and your opponent was too far away, they might not lock on immediately. You know, red shells weren't as dangerous as they are nowadays. In Mario Kart DS, however, while yes, there are still ways to confuse them, once they have locked onto you, they do something that I've never seen them do in any Mario Kart game since, and I can totally see why. So, usually, when you have like an item like the banana or green shell, naturally, you will hold them behind you, so that when a red shell approaches you, it'll go from behind, it'll hit the banana or the green shell, and it'll be blocked. That's how it works, and that's how it's usually always worked, right? Wrong! In this game, sometimes the red shell will not hit you from the back, but it will go around and hit you from the side. Which means that even if you have like triple bananas sometimes, the red shell will just hit you. It'll just say like, nah, screw you, I don't care if you have protection and stuff, I don't care if you're trying to play this game the skillful way, I'm just gonna hit you nonetheless. And that is something that I haven't really seen any other game do afterwards. I can only assume that it's maybe like glitchy physics, because this must have been like not intentional. That would just be too crazy and too unfair for me to believe. Now, don't ask me how Nintendo was unable to properly program red shells hitting you directly from behind. They probably didn't, I don't know. But then that leaves the question why it is like this. And oh my god, a 3-star rank in Mario Kart DS 150cc, I might just be dreaming, guys. For reference, I usually do tend to get 3-star ranks in a lot of the Mario Kart games that I play, especially from Wii and onward. But this game usually has a reputation of being extremely hard to get 3-star rankings on, especially in 150cc and Mirror Cups, so this honestly makes me really happy to see that I finally managed to get another one. And it just so happens to be the first one that I get for my video that I do on it. That really makes me happy. It was 150cc, right? I think it was. Alright, next we're gonna play as... You know what, let's go as DK. And let's check this out here. Oh yeah, you might have noticed these stats down here, some are interesting, like the item one, for example. That's right, the cards in this game, they have an item stat. Now, I don't know what exactly it refers to. I mean, obviously it refers to items, but what exactly it alters with the items, I don't know. All I know is that DK's special card, the Rambi Rider, has such a high item stat, it's literally at the absolute maximum, so I'm going to choose it. But its drift is almost the same, handling is almost the same, weight is a little higher, acceleration is only slightly worse. It's basically the same, so I might as well. Really, this one, the standard DK, has such a huge downside because it's almost the same and its item stat is so much worse. Who would want to pick this? There it is, yep, it is true, 3-star rank, wow. I'm blown away, honestly. Alright, I guess Flower Cup shall be the next one. Starting things off in Desert Hills. This track, I cannot tell you how many times I've played this track in Mario Kart Wii, and therefore I know this track in and out, and I love it so much. Look at this. The Super Mario Bros. 3 reference with all the pipes. And of course, you can't forget about the angry sun in the back that will spawn the little fire guys. It is so cool. And the music. So good. Now, a lot of you guys may know that Desert Hills was actually brought back very recently in Mario Kart World. When I found out about this, I thought to myself, hey, that's pretty cool. One of my favorite tracks for Mario Kart Wii is being brought back for the newest installment. That is honestly really good. I'm gonna look forward to this. Then I played the game, and eventually I got to Desert Hills, and I noticed that they turned Desert Hills into desert. There are no hills anymore. There is no challenge anymore. There is no special shortcut that you can take by driving on top of the hills with, say, a mushroom or triple mushrooms or a star. All the hills are gone, the challenge is completely gone, the Pokies are gone. That is probably the biggest thing that I noticed immediately. The Pokies are no longer the main enemies that you encounter on this track. Nope, now it's the creatures from Super Mario Land whose names I actually completely forgot just now, sorry. But either way, even the fire things, like these little fire dudes, they are also gone. So they essentially removed every little bit of challenge that the original had and just completely replaced it with the guys from Super Mario Land. Which, really, you have to go out of your way to get hit by them in World. It's just awful. Like, I could maybe be fine with them having just gotten rid of the Pokies. But the fact that they completely got rid of the hills and got rid of the challenge that there was here, I don't know if I can ever forgive them for that, because that's just... it feels like such an essential part of this track. I mean, it's called Desert Hills for a reason. It's a desert, and there's a lot of hills. Now, what's the point in calling it Desert Hills if you're going to get rid of all the hills? And probably a few other things too, like... I'm not even sure if that pyramid was in World's version, but I don't know. It's been a while since I last played Mario Kart World, and I'll be honest, I don't really want to touch the game again until they release some major update that, I don't know, does something really special. Because at this point, something really special is what it would take to get me back into the game. And it's been out for only a few months so far. Usually, if this was any other Mario Kart game, I'd probably still be grinding it like there's no tomorrow. But not this one. But that's okay, because we're playing an actually good Mario Kart game now. DS. Oh yeah, and another thing about DS. Remember how I said that, like, the Mario Kart community is generally very, like, divided when it comes to the topic of best Mario Kart? How 1/3 would usually say, you know, Double Dash is the best, the other third would say it's Wii, and the last third would say it's DS. Well, before that, I didn't even know there were so many people who really loved Double Dash. I used to believe that it was either DS or Wii. Because, yeah, without a doubt, there's a lot of people out there that love this game, adore it even. And I cannot blame them, because I've had my fair share of time with this game as well. Though I did not have a DS growing up, funny enough. Obviously, I did play Mario Kart Wii quite a few times. So much that it eventually became my best game ever. My most favorite one. And I just played way too much. I really... all you have to do is just mention it. Like, just say, hey Goomba, Mario Kart Wii, and I'll just be like, oh, you mother... and I'll just turn the Wii on and start playing it. But Mario Kart DS, for the longest time, I didn't even know it existed. Until much later when I finally got my 2DS XL. And I found out that it was backwards compatible with DS games. And that's when I was like, wait a second, there was a Mario Kart on the DS. Why not give that one a try? And yeah, needless to say, I fell in love with the game too. Not as much as Wii, but still a really great game. Played it a lot on road trips. Well, primarily road trips because that was what the DS was probably best for. Really a very, very good handheld console, and I'm really screwing things up right now. I'm not sure if this DK card is the best one for me, actually. I don't know, something feels off about it. I'm not getting anything better than third with this. And I'm driving into things. Okay, it's definitely the steering. The steering with this thing feels just so awful. And it's third. Yep. It's another third. You know what? I'll take it for now. Might have to redo this though, because first place already has 20 points. We'll have to beat Wario, that's for sure. And we'll have to beat him hard. In Waluigi Pinball. Oh no, this track. Why am I saying oh no? I love this track. But considering the fact that I already know this card has terrible handling, I don't think I'm going to be very good at this, because Waluigi Pinball has built up quite the reputation within the Mario Kart community. People love this track. In fact, this track, for some people, I think is the one big reason for why they love Mario Kart DS the most. Just this track right here. And I can't blame them. The music is absolutely iconic, and it's the only track, I think, in the entire game where all the sound effects, like getting an item, or falling off track, or getting shot out the cannon at the beginning, has been changed to now sound like it's coming out of an 8-bit console. Just listen closer to when I get an item here. Yep, that was an 8-bit sound. Really unique, and it really conveys the feeling of, yeah, you are inside a pinball machine right now. And here we are now in the main pinball area. We got bumpers all around that we can drive into. And of course, eventually we're gonna have actual pinballs that will potentially get in our way, but let's hope they're not gonna do that. And I have the blue shell right now with its just beautiful design. Look at those wings. Oh my goodness. Oh, so beautiful. Let's send it off. Alright, that seems to have hit. Yeah, these corners are gonna be awful with this terrible of a handling. Oh no. But anyways, here come the pinballs, and as you can see, it's already hit Toad right in front of us. Wait, how the hell is Toad here? I thought I drove him over. You know what? It doesn't matter. Nope, nothing happened that night. Speaking of nothing happened, what just happened there? I was clearly not in first anymore. I mean, I know the blue shell locks on eventually, but like, I'm pretty sure I wasn't even in first anymore by the time it locked on to me. Oh, there we go. That was extremely sneaky right there. Literally wouldn't have had enough time to react to that one. So yeah, these balls, these giant metal balls are gonna be quite the issue for me here, because I'm just gonna keep running into them. Just gonna keep running straight into the big metal balls. Okay, enough with the sus moments. Oh yeah, the Boo! The Boo came back as an item in this one. And it's as useless as ever. I mean, what the hell, man? You're supposed to give me an item. You seriously mean to tell me that nobody just so happened to have an item there that I could have stolen from them? Come on, you gotta be kidding. Also, I'm just now noticing it's the final lap already, and I'm literally almost last. Oh god, I'm not gonna be... That's great, but probably not going to help all too much. Wait, this is good. Yes! That was... Oh my god, I could not have wished for a better ending to this track. Literally get a blue shell, shoot Wario with it, then hit him with a couple more red shells, and get first. Okay, we're closer to him now. We're at 22 points compared to his 24. We'll still have to beat him in the final course. This is gonna be a really close call. And it's Shroom Ridge! This one I also really like. Specifically the music. I don't know, something about it just... I really enjoy. This one also came back in the Booster Course Pass DLC for 8 Deluxe. And was primarily a critique point for people to point out how terrible the grass in it looks, considering... I mean, could you even call it grass? It was literally just a solid shade of green. That's all it was. You know, in this game... Even in this game, funny enough, in a DS game, the grass looked better than in there, because it literally was just a straight up shade of green. That's all it was. So, I was about to say maybe in this game it was a shade of green, but no, even in this game it looked better. So they had no excuses to make the game, or to make the track look worse over 10 years later on a console that could easily render much better looking grass. They had no excuses, and they didn't even try going for excuses. Instead, they just made all the future courses in the DLC pass look better. Oh god, nope, thank you, good handling. Anyway, but the courses that looked shit in the first place, they were not fixed. So even though people would say, oh my god, the new courses just look so good in the DLC pass, but like, yeah, what about all the previous ones that we complained about so much? They never bothered fixing those up. It's like, they didn't really care. Not fully. Ooh, thank you for your mushrooms there, Wario. Okay, if I use this correctly, I can look at the bottom screen now, and I can potentially get a really good item here. I just need to be fast. Yeah, this is another one of those moments where the bottom screen is really broken, because the brew allows you to steal the item from another player. And since you can always see what items players currently have, you can do this. And there you go. I just got double mushrooms. I was trying to go for 3, but at least we still got 2, which means I can do this. There we go, just got a big shortcut out of that. And potentially you can abuse this even more if you are fast enough and the CPU doesn't use the item before you use your blue, because even though they are CPUs, obviously they can also see what item you have, so usually they're gonna try to use it quickly. But you can pull like the blue shell in first or something with this. Ah, I was trying to make him follow. Speaking of blue shell, there it is. I just summoned it by saying its name. And there we go. Looks like it was a close call, a really close one actually, just 2 points off. Man, I actually had to get first here, otherwise I would have failed. But yeah, there we go. So due to the fact that this wasn't a perfect score of 40 points, that means I'm probably only going to get a like A rank. C, actually, this game is extremely cool. Wow. This game is really cool with its rankings. But that's okay. You basically can't get a 1-star ranking even if you don't get a perfect score. Like, you have to get first every single time in order for the game to even consider giving you a 1-star ranking. And sometimes I think you might even only get an A rank if you do extremely bad in those races. So yeah, you can see how rare it was for me to get that 3-star rank in the Mushroom Cup. And speaking of cups, the Star Cup has been added to the Nitro Grand Prix in this engine class. Oh yeah, this is also the first game that introduced Nitro Grand Prix and Retro Grand Prix, aka Retro Courses. Courses from past Mario Kart games that will be brought back and maybe given a new coat of paint, maybe a few new shortcuts that like make use of new things introduced in the game. But in this case, they're literally just the retro tracks, so yeah, tracks from old games brought back in the new one. Alright, next we're gonna go with Peach. Let me check the handling for this one, because let me check actually. So handling for this one was really low. Handling for this one is okay. Drift is high. It actually might have been the drift, I don't know. Drift for this one was like relatively high. God, her drift is so high. Okay, I'm gonna go with Peach and on her standard one, because even though it doesn't have that good of an item stat, it has higher speed, higher acceleration, and a near perfect drift stat. And I want to see what that does. Okay, I guess next up is the Star Cup. DK Pass. This one was also brought back in Mario Kart World. And at least with this one, unlike Desert Hills, I can say that they at least brought this one back in a good way. But still not perfectly, because even with this one, much like with Desert Hills, a hill was just taken out. And we will get to that hill very shortly, because on one hand, I can kind of see why they would have to remove it. It's broken. I'm talking about this hill right here. Now, you're gonna go off-road, which means you will lose a lot of time. But up there is a special item box that can only give you one of 3 items. A single mushroom, a triple mushroom, and in the best case, a star. I think it's completely random, so you're kind of gonna have to hope. And what you can essentially do is, if you're in first place, you can just go up there and you can pull a star in first place. Your placement does not matter. It's completely random which one you get, but you will get one of those free items. But for that, you'd have to discover this mountain, this hill in the first place, which back then, without much internet access, people would probably, you know, not be able to find it that easily. But I think nowadays, almost everybody knows about this hill. And funny enough, this track was also brought back in Mario Kart 7, before World, and at least there, this hill did actually return, and I think the item box did too. Now I'm not sure if they changed the chances up there, but as far as I can remember, it's still broken in there, so even in Mario Kart 7, you can just pull mushrooms and stars on that hill if you want to risk going up there and driving on the off-road for that long. That was close. I thought I was going to drive into the snowman there. And there you go, I just made use of the touchscreen by looking at where Yoshi was and then dropping the banana right before his character icon would line up with mine. Yeah, you can see this is an incredibly broken mechanic. And it was brought back in Mario Kart 7, but not quite in the same way. They had to tone it down slightly. You can still see what items other people have. Oh my god, now I'm getting Mario Karted. Yep, getting first once, and the game's going to just fuck you in the ass. And now I can't even see the item boxes. And I used to always say that the blooper was a useless item because I can still see where I'm going anyway. This is the one time where I actually was a bit confused of it because I could not see the item boxes. But it doesn't matter, suck my dick, Toad, I won anyway. I even hit him. I am just now noticing what I just said. God. Anyways. TikTok Clock is up next. This one was also brought back in the DLC, Booster Course Pass. And at least there, nothing was added or removed per se. The hills that are here, if you can even call them hills, were still there. The course was brought back perfectly. It even has a flying section now, which is pretty damn neat. Oh yeah, and also, obviously, if you couldn't tell by the name, or I guess if you haven't played Mario Kart 64, Mario 64 I mean, this track, TikTok Clock, is based on a level in Mario 64 which goes by the same name, TikTok Clock, in which you climb up a giant clock that you can jump inside, and depending on how you enter it, you can also make the time inside the clock go really slow or really fast, or you can just stop time entirely. It all depends on what number the pendulums are currently on. So if you enter the clock at exactly 12, that's when everything will stand still, whereas 6, 9, and 3 will either make it super fast, super slow, or a random speed. I don't know what exactly it was, but I'm just gonna assume, because if I remember correctly, 3 was slow, 6 was random, and 9 was fast. But don't quote me on that, you'll have to test it for yourself. But it doesn't really matter, most people would either just use the time stop thing because it would make the stage easier to traverse, or just one of the other 3, they didn't really care, if they needed the parts inside it to be moving, which you do need that for some things. Now in Mario Kart, yes, however, the track itself doesn't really resemblance the actual level for Mario 64 itself, aside from the fact that, oh no, oh wait, this was actually good, now I'm not small. Aside from the fact that, you know, some assets or textures were taken from it, but the actual level design obviously had to be different because the level in Mario 64 was never designed to be an actual racetrack and wouldn't work as one either. So they had to change a few things about it, added these tiny clocks here with spinning pendulums that if they hit you, you would spin out, as well as these nice little cogwheels right here that would make you go faster or slower, depending on which side you picked and which side, you know, went upwards. Kinda similar to the escalators in Coconut Mall, where you have to look at which one is currently going to take you up faster, make your decision, and then depending on if you saw correctly or not, you would, you know, you would be faster or you would get punished and go much, much slower. Now it's time for Mario Circuit. I think this one was also brought back. Genuinely, a lot of Mario Kart 64 courses were brought back in the Booster Course DLC pass. I think, if I had to guess, probably the most courses returned from either DS or Wii, because, like I said before, those two games are the ones that pretty much almost everyone seems to love. You either love Mario Kart Wii or DS, and if you love the one, you don't necessarily hate the other. Like, people that like Mario Kart DS over Wii don't hate Wii because it changed a few things. They still like it, at least as far as I know. And as for me personally, though I think Mario Kart Wii is the best game ever made and nothing will ever top it, Mario Kart DS is definitely a close second, along with Double Dash, of course. They currently share second place behind it, at least in my personal Mario Kart game ranking, because I can't decide, honestly, and I feel like if I picked a side, people would be right at my throat, threatening to do all kinds of things to me, because, oh no, God forbid I dislike one game over the other if they love it. And that's why. And the other reason is also just the fact that both have just such good qualities about them. Like, obviously Mario Kart Double Dash is extremely special because it tried new things that no other game since then has tried. I mean, 2 characters in one kart is really interesting, but I can also see why people hated it at the time. And then Mario Kart DS, you know, went back to tradition, but also gave us huge things to do in multiplayer mode. And, you know, a handheld Mario Kart that was actually in 3D. Like, sure, if you want to play Mario Kart on the go, you had Super Circuit, but I already played that game on my channel, and you can look at, if you want to look at the video, you'll see, you will hear me talk about just how terrible it is for me personally. Like, you cannot compare Super Circuit to DS. By all accounts, DS is the first 3D handheld Mario Kart title, and many would say the best handheld Mario Kart title ever. Definitely above Mario Kart 7 for a lot of people. And for me personally, another really big thing that makes me love Mario Kart DS, it's not the game style, though, well, yes, it is the game style, but it's not just the game style, and it's not the amount of things that it introduced into the series, as well as the things that it did different. It is its soundtrack, and this track right here, Airship Fortress, which was, by the way, also brought back in World recently. Yeah, this is one of those great examples. Because this track, oh god, Rocky Wrench. This track right here has a really great musical piece to go along with it. It really conveys the vibe of you are on Bowser, one of Bowser's airships right now, one of those that was actually used in Mario 3. You are now invading an enemy base, and you gotta get yourself out of here. Then you get shot out of the cannon, go right into this tower, which for some reason has a hole in it. Then you go around for a really long time. So you eventually come out here, and you'll eventually shoot yourself back up onto the airship again. This part right here is pretty cool with all the bullet bills coming towards you. Speaking of bullet bill, that was a new item introduced here in this game. Much like every other Mario Kart game, this one also introduced new items to the series. And this time, they looked at the Chain Chomp item, which was Baby Mario and Baby Luigi's special item from Double Dash, and said, yeah, that item's pretty broken, and you can only pull it in like the last couple of places. So let's make it so everyone can use this item, first of all, because we got rid of special items. But we'll have to change it a little, because the DS cannot handle, probably can't handle, a giant Chain Chomp, you know, running throughout the place, as well as pulling you. We'll have to do something else. What if the player changes, or like turns into the Chain Chomp? That might not be too bad of an idea, but like it would still be pretty big and would take up most of the screen. And that's when they decided on the bullet bill. And fun fact, if you manage to take a look into the files of the game, you can find the same theme that would play when Baby Mario and Baby Luigi would use the Chain Chomp in this game too. The exact same song that used to play, which is also how people eventually found out that the Chain Chomp was planned to return in this game as an item for everyone. There is also, I think, a Chain Chomp texture for an item that could appear, as well as a few other things. But yeah, the Chain Chomp was definitely probably one of the most interesting things that was planned, but eventually scrapped, and now we have the bullet bill instead, which went on to become probably the most infamous item in Mario Kart ever. Next to the blue shell, probably. Just because of how overpowered it is. I might not get to show the bullet bill here though, because I generally don't tend to fall that far behind where the game would give it to me. it will probably rather give me like a star or maybe a golden mushroom, which are now, once again, like I said, back to being items that everyone can use. Toad returned. Toadette unfortunately didn't, but he can use the golden mushroom, but so can everyone else. Which means it now no longer really matters which character you pick. They don't have certain specific things that no other character does. Aside from maybe a different card, so I guess it does still slightly matter. But in general, every character at least still has a standard card they can pick. So that's a big factor right there. Now, 2-star rank, that's pretty good all things considered. And here we go, now the special cup has been added. Now I don't know who to do that with exactly. Because on one hand, I feel like it would have to be Yoshi actually now I think about it. Okay, so we have the Egg 1. And this name makes no sense to me because naturally, if you look at this, you would assume Egg 1. At some point, you know, in the future, I'm probably going to, you know, beat some special mode in this game, and I'm going to unlock a card for him that's the Egg 2, right? Because logically, why would they name it Egg 1? If they could just name it like the Eggsicle or something, or the Egg card, or just Egg, although that would be unoriginal. But still, if they name it Egg 1, they have to make Egg 2 or something. Nope, they just called it the Egg 1. And I don't know why. There is no other egg-like vehicle in the game, it's just called Egg 1. Now, looking at these things, it looks like the standard Yoshi card actually has a higher item stat, while sacrificing a little bit of speed for it, but I'm ready to do that, so... Alright, who's ready for the special cup, which has Wario Stadium, Peach Gardens, which came back in Mario Kart Wii, I love that track so much, Bowser Castle, and Rainbow Road. Now this Mario Kart's Rainbow Road, while not the best in my opinion, has something very special about it that no prior Rainbow Road ever had, and something that you would not expect from this game, and more so from one in the future, and we'll get to that. You'll be very surprised to see what this Rainbow Road has to offer. But first things first, we are in Wario Stadium, which uses the same track as Waluigi Pinball, and I do believe, no, it's not Wario Stadium, it wasn't brought back in World. That was Wario Stadium from the N64. But still, this one was brought back in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Booster Course Pass though. And it's basically about the same, so nothing to complain about there. Looks nice. Oh yeah, the blooper, which just appeared. Nowadays, you take it for granted, it's been in every single Mario Kart, but this is the game that introduced him. So, if you ever get mad at the blooper and think to yourself, man, who still, like, who wants this? Who made this item? Who wanted that? Just take a look through the list of the developers for Mario Kart DS. Probably one of those is to blame. But in general, yeah, you can be mad at this game for introducing that item, because, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it all too much either. Like, everyone else that I've played the game with, that includes mostly just my family, sure, they've said that they, like, you know, they don't like the blooper because it genuinely makes it unable for them to see the track. While me, someone who literally knows the track layouts in and out for basically almost all Mario Kart courses at this point, it barely does anything. And if you pull a blooper in, like, 5th place, it's like, wow, this really is gonna help me a lot, isn't it? It's gonna do absolutely nothing. If you pull this item in online, it's basically over. It's a completely wasted item at that point. Even worse, I would dare to say, than the fake item box, because at least with that one, sure, it can protect you, but it has a huge hitbox, and if placed correctly, it can still be used to, you know, trip up other racers. The blooper, on the other hand, considering everyone in online is, you know, knows the tracks perfectly, it just does nothing. Only if you use it in, like, very, very specific situations can it maybe do something. But aside from that, it's just useless. So, yeah, I don't think that... not one of the best items that they introduced in this game. But that's okay, we got the Bullet Bill instead. That one definitely more than makes up for it. Though a lot of people still say they would have preferred to see a Chain Chomp, and I can see why, but Bullet Bill is iconic, come on. Also, when I look at a Bullet Bill and a Chain Chomp, I would assume that the Bullet Bill would be the faster option, because it's a freaking bullet, man. Of course it's fast. The Chain Chomp is, for all we know, just a dog in the Mario universe. Dogs can be fast, don't get me wrong, but can they go as fast as a bullet? I did not think so. Speaking of Chain Chomps, they were in the game, funny enough. Not as an item, but as an obstacle. And we're about to see a lot of them in this track, Peach Gardens, which I'm just now noticing kind of throws what I said earlier kind of completely out the window, because I thought the developer said that the game wouldn't be able to handle a giant chain chomp, you know, just the player turning into one. But considering there's literally 3 separate chain chomps here, I guess that means the game was able to handle it, so they must have had a different reason for just getting rid of the chain chomp and replacing it with Bullet Bill. And honestly, at this point, I don't know. It must have been a creative decision or something. So, I don't know. I mean, it makes sense. Why would the DS have trouble rendering a giant metal ball that just has mouths? That just has a mouth. I highly doubt it would have much of a problem with that. But anyway, they decided on Bullet Bill in the end. We can't change that, and I wouldn't want it. Alright, there's a blue shell incoming now, you can tell. Okay, I'm just gonna take that. The acceleration on this thing is quite good. I really like that. That's going to come in handy should I get Mario Karted pretty hard at some point. Here we got some Monty moles jumping out of the ground, trying to get me, but more than likely they're not going to. And I always wondered, which castle exactly is this? Because it's Peach Gardens, and you can clearly tell, like, back there, that is supposed to be Peach's castle. But which one? That is the question, because without a doubt, Peach has multiple castles. She must have multiple castles, because we've seen so many at this point. And sure, they might look a little similar, but there's no way it's always the same castle, just slightly different over and over again, because then that would mean that the castle just goes through so many renovations, literally almost daily at that point, because almost every single Mario circuit track, or I think literally every single one, has a castle, more so specifically Peach's castle, somewhere in it. And if it's always the same one, that means that they're constantly building new tracks around it and stuff, and eventually it goes back to being an actual castle that you can visit instead of a track around it. It doesn't make sense. So I think it's safe to assume that Peach has multiple castles. Some of them are situated in normal places where you can visit them, and some are just surrounded by a racetrack for probably good looks. Because honestly, a racetrack definitely looks pretty damn sick if it has a castle somewhere in it, usually in the middle. And speaking of castles, we are now about to go inside a not so pleasant looking castle, Bowser's Castle. If I had to say something about this one, it's neat. It's like, it's got a few interesting things about it. It has this like turntable thingy right here. Like always, it has a lot of thwomps in it, which has become like a reoccurring theme in all the Bowser's castles since the N64, where there were just thwomps everywhere. Double Dash had a lot of thwomps. This one has a lot of thwomps. The one in Wii has a lot of thwomps. I think now it's just gonna be tradition for Bowser Castle to always have that. What's also new about this one is that little cylinder thingy right there that will always twist from left to right and randomly switch its direction. Gotta be careful, because if you're going left and it randomly starts going right, you gotta start going the other direction, otherwise you will just fall off and you'll be forced to take the lower path, which is usually slower. Aside from that, this track doesn't really have much else that's like all too special about it. I think you can actually go further here and you can take like a little shortcut. In fact, I barely ever take that path. So, for the sake of the video, I'm actually gonna go there for the first time today in the next lap, just to show if it's really like that big of a shortcut or if it barely does anything. You know what, I'm even gonna risk something and take the lower path, because if I always go, you know, the same way, it's gonna get boring eventually. I have to show everything that the track has to offer, so might as well. I'm trying to think right now, aside from the blooper, what new items did this game introduce actually, because I'm not sure. Like, we got Bullet Bill and we have blooper. I'm actually not sure if there were any others. Actually, that might be all. I mean, then again, who said you always need like 1,000 new items to be a good Mario Kart? We don't need too much. Oh god, no. That was awful. Okay. Okay, so you go through here, and you have that thwomp that's trying to block your way. You go over here. Let's say you accidentally go this way and you fall off. then you are forced to take this path down here, which has grass in your way, which, you know, can really slow you down. And then you have to go up here. The blue shell just missed. Oh no, oh, not a good place to, oh, this really screwed me over. Nope. Oh, that is an awful place to get hit by the blue shell. My god. I fell right in the lava only to immediately get hit by a red shell. Right, I'm gonna have to try to pull some great stuff here. Okay, at least we got third. But yeah, it was not worth the risk going down there. Especially because I'm still in first, but now I essentially have to get first again in order to at least still have more points than everyone else and not tie. Or even worse, if I get third place again, I'm actually going to lose this Grand Prix. I mean, yeah, maybe I'll get like second or third place in general, but to me that's a loss. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, the turbo start is now at the place where we are used to it. So yeah, now if you hold down on the A button after the 2, you will get the turbo start. It's no longer right as the race starts or shortly after 1. No, it now found its footing. And here's the special thing that I was talking about Rainbow Road earlier. It has a loop-de-loop in it. This is not a Sonic game, this is a Mario Kart game, and it's not Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or just 8. There were no special anti-gravity sections in this game. Just on this Rainbow Road. And here comes another one. Look at this little twisty thing. Unfortunately, if you get hit by a blue shell here, the game kind of glitches out because it doesn't know how to handle the gravity. And you essentially go all the way into last place because the CPUs will all just pass you. And you get put before it. And literally yet another blue shell. Like, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of them here. And here we go. Yeah, now I'm getting the golden mushroom, which I'm just going to use. And look at that. Due to how many boosts this thing has, even the golden mushroom can barely bring me up a few spots. But anyways, here we go again. Loop-de-loop time! And you can see down there how the map kind of goes a little crazy doing it too, because it was only made to handle, like, you know, a 2D map that can go, like, you know, left and right, forward and backward, but no loop-de-loops. It was not really made for that, and as such, it kind of freaks out a little, but it can still handle it. Oh yeah, a shock would have also done the same thing as the blue shell did earlier on this loop-de-loop section. In fact, I think if you get hit by anything on that section, you will just fall off. So that's something that maybe Nintendo could have optimized a little more. Like, I get it, you know, driving upside down wasn't exactly a thing yet, so naturally if you get hit, you will just fall down. But I don't know, it feels way too broken because obviously online people have used that, and you'll usually only get hit on this part specifically, because people know how far back it sets you. But oh well, I can't blame Nintendo for, you know, making mistakes during a time when anti-gravity was still a foreign concept, something that they didn't even think they could pull off. But they did it nonetheless. Not perfectly, but they did pull it off, and people love this Rainbow Road because of that. Something that not even Mario Kart Wii's Rainbow Road had, though most people still consider that one the best, and that includes me, of course. And speaking of Rainbow Road, it is finished! Okay, and once again, obviously, you know, it's situated in the sky, it's got some stars surrounding it, but no longer do we have things like mushrooms, or bananas, or shells, or sometimes even character heads, or something like that. Here, it's actually just stars. So, it's a generic-looking Rainbow Road, with a really unique design to it that I and a lot of people really enjoy. And that's the special cup already done. With an A rank. So, like I said earlier, you can get first place in every single track and might still get an A rank for it. Although, wait, actually, no, I did not get first. I completely forgot that I didn't. So, never mind, scratch that. But yeah, you can now choose among 7 different karts. I'm not sure if this only gets unlocked after 150cc, but yeah, every character now gets more karts to choose from. So if we go in here and select Yoshi once more, instead of just having his Egg 1 and the Yoshi Standard, he can now choose from any vehicle. So we can also choose like the Cucumber, which used to be my go-to, my main basically. We have the Mushmallow, the Banisher, the Poltergust 4000, which I used with Luigi earlier. That used to be for Luigi only, but now Yoshi can use it. Royale, Egg 1, and yeah, it's essentially all of the current vehicles that we own. And so yeah, I guess we are moving on with, let's see, what shall we use here? Wario Special Kart is the boot, which has a super high speed stat. Yeah, we're going with this. Items aren't looking too good, but I'm willing to take that risk for now. And I guess we are going to start with the Retro Cups, which starts things off in the Shell Cup with Super Nintendo Mario Circuit 1, N64 Moo Moo Farm, GBA Peach Circuit, and GCN Luigi Circuit. Look at this lineup right here. We have 3 circuit tracks. And funny enough, Mario Circuit 1 was the first track on the Super Nintendo, Peach Circuit was the first track on the Game Boy Advance, and Luigi Circuit was the first track on the GameCube. So this entire cup mostly just consists of first tracks in their respective games. Moo Moo Farm being the only one that is, I think, the second, but close enough. I find that kinda neat. But anyways, we are going to start this track, this cup, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, and here we are on Super Nintendo Mario Circuit 1. The very first track in Mario Kart history, basically. As you can tell, this one is the most basic of tracks that you can possibly think of. It is just completely flat, there's barely any obstacles in your way, you are basically just driving around and drifting when there's a corner coming up. That's all there is to it. And yet, I still really like these kinds of courses. There's something about the simplicity of them that still makes them really enjoyable. You know, simple doesn't always mean cheap or bad per se. Sometimes, the simpler things in life are the ones that really bring you joy. Didn't think you'd hear that in a Mario Kart game now, would you? Okay, let's place this in a good way here. How do I place this properly? I would say like here. Oh yeah, there's one good thing that the blueprint does actually do in this game specifically. Now, for the player itself, it doesn't really do anything. Like I just said, you can basically still see where you're going. But if the computers get hit by the blueprint, they will start going in like weird circles. Like they're still gonna follow the track, but they'll just go like left and right and do little zigzags and stuff like they can't properly see. So that's at least one advantage that you can get over the CPUs with the item, because it makes it easier to drive past them. And also, you lose speed if you turn. I forgot to mention that. If you're drifting, you don't. But if you just turn normally, you lose ever so slightly little bit of speed. Alright, Moo Moo Farm is up next. I have heard a lot of people say that Moo Moo Farm is a little underrated due to Moo Moo Meadows being used more often, but I'm about to upset some of the Moo Moo Farm clans here. I don't see it. I honestly don't see this track being that special. I definitely do think that Moo Moo Meadows is a lot better. I don't know, this track doesn't really have that interesting of a design to it. I don't know. Like, yeah, sure, there's Monty Moles and stuff, but like, this is the Moo Moo Farm. In Moo Moo Meadows, it made sense that the one big obstacle in your way were the cows. You know, that would, you know, walk around on the road. But here, you can only see the cows in the background. Your main obstacle are the Monty Moles, and for a track that's called Moo Moo Farm, I would mostly expect to drive through a farm and, you know, get in the way of cows. This is not what I expected. The music is fitting. I like the music a lot. I got nothing against that, but I already told you guys I love the music in Mario Kart games, so that's always a win. But yeah, for me it's always Moo Moo Meadows over Farm. Always. And I don't care what people say. This is just... it's a good track, but it does not entirely fit its title. And I'm just now noticing, man, this card really does have an incredibly high speed set, doesn't it? Like, Jesus, where is everybody? Like, I can see them behind me. There! Finally, I got to showcase the red shell. So there, you saw how the red shell hit me from the side, even though I was holding something right behind me. Oh, I barely hit that one, right as I was ending the lap. But yeah, so you got to see how that looks, and yeah, this without a doubt pissed a lot of people off at the time, because if you're gonna finally introduce the ability to hold items behind you to protect yourself, then why still make it possible for the red shell to hit you nonetheless? It just felt like a useless thing. Like, if it only works 50% of the time, then why even make it a possibility? And I'm very happy that it obviously didn't stay this way throughout the series, and nowadays, when you're holding something behind you, you are always, or usually always, safe from a red shell. That being said though, the red shells did become incredibly more how should I say, dangerous nowadays. Like back then, there was still a chance that even if you were holding an item behind you, there were other ways that you could get rid of the red shell by lowering it into a wall, for example. That doesn't seem possible anymore, unfortunately. It's just always coming for you. It's always gonna get your ass. But oh well. Who am I to complain? And oh god, that was incredible right there. I got hit by a banana and immediately got bumped into another one. I gotta say, I'm really liking this cart actually. Like, Wario is not by far my favorite character, but his cart in this game is pretty good. I like the design of it, I like the fact that the emblem is right at the front and the back, so you can pretty much almost always see it. It's neat. You know, it's also neat, the fact that first place just got hit with a blue shell and I'm in first with a mushroom now. Oh yeah, it's over. It is so over for these guys. And triple bananas. Oh, now I'm super well protected. At least with triple bananas, the chance that the red shell will still hit you nonetheless is like so much lower. Man, we're definitely gonna get a good score in this. I mean, so far it's looking perfect. Unless I do something really bad in this final track. I don't know. It doesn't seem very likely. This is a really nice basic track. Oh yeah, and you might have also noticed that different tracks tend to have different introduction sounds, such as how this one sounded a little different from the usual one. I think there's 3 different variations of course introduction songs in this game, and I don't know why they did that, but it's a neat little detail. And oh man, that was close, Jesus. I'm getting flashbacks to Mario Kart Double Dash from this. Like, I know I said that it's not my favorite Mario Kart ever, but probably like on the top 2 spot. But shortly after I finished that playthrough and uploaded the video, I got addicted to Mario Kart Double Dash again, and actually went through every single cup and completed every single Grand Prix, every single R-Cup tour. I essentially 100%ed the game again, just because of how much I wanted to play it more after that little video was finished. So that just goes to show, Mario Kart Double Dash has something about it that really makes it just so much replayability. I don't know, it's so good. So yeah, if you can, please give the game a shot. Oh god, yeah, that was evil right there, Bowser. You have a red shell. You could have thrown that forwards. Oh wait, actually no, you went first. You couldn't have. Never mind, I don't blame you. Except I do blame you because you just made me drop down to 4th. You're gonna pay for that. Bombs? They're yours, my friend. Oh, that man hit. Oh my god, that actually hit him. Oh, I got you, Bowser. That's what you get, you piece of shit. Ha! Oh, that was perfect. Alright, now if I get a red shell here, that would be perfect, but I can't. Oh, it's Yoshi. Would you look at that? Oh, wait, hold on. Yes! Let's go. Bottom screen trick once more. Alright, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Finish the race, finish the race, finish the race. Yes! Oh, that was a perfect run, honestly. I'm probably still not gonna get 3 stars. The game is gonna find something about my playstyle where it's like, it wasn't good enough for 3 stars, but it should be some star ranking, honestly. Because I think that was pretty good. Yeah, 2-star ranking. Okay, I'll take it, I'll take it. That's pretty neat. Okay, next up is the Banana Cup. Who shall I pick for this one? Let's see. We've had Yoshi, we've had Peach, we've had Luigi, and we've had Donkey Kong, and now we've had him. Don't want to go with Mario just yet, so I'm gonna go with Bowser for this one. Oh yeah, listen to his voice. This was very shortly before they officially changed his voice, but here he still has his, like, I guess, Sunshine, or just generally his GameCube voice, during which they were like, okay, how's Bowser supposed to sound? Let's just make him sound like a drunk adult man. Yes! I don't know. It just sounds weird. But anyways, what shall I pick for this? Ooh, the Hurricane has a perfect speed stat. Yeah, let's go with that actually. That looks pretty cool. Wait, Banana Cup. You're up. And once again, we have a Super Nintendo track first, Donut Plains 1. They chose a lot of Super Nintendo tracks with the number 1, didn't they? Bombs? Once again, they are yours, my friend, as long as you have enough rubies. Cease. Oh, don't you dare hit me with that banana, Donkey Kong. That's what I thought. You wouldn't. Last second overtaking. Wait, hold on. I can hit you with a banana, though. Yes! Woo! Hey, he likes bananas, so clearly he wouldn't mind if I slap one right in his face. Which I just did. And I'm talking about an actual banana here. Get your mind out the gutters, guys. Oh god, oh god. Ugh. Jesus. Come on, go, 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 go. Oh, the acceleration of this thing is terrible. I see why it's got such a high speed stat now. Hell no, DK. I'm winning this race, not you. Okay, he got an item. What did he get? Oh no. That's gonna hit me, isn't it? Yep, hit me from the side. Oh, but he got hit by the banana. Come on, drift, 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 drift. Wait, I'm in second. I was in second last I checked. I was literally in second. Wait, why did I click on next course? Why did I just click on the next course? We can't do it like this. Hold on. There we go. I'm restarting this because that was just awful. I need to check that later on when I'm editing this because that looked way too much like I was in second for most of the time there. That was just straight up bullshit. Alright, let's try this one more time. Alright, there we go. Got first place this time. I will definitely check that out later. Because that was some crazy stuff. Also, for some reason it doesn't really look like Bowser should be able to fit in this card. I mean, wait, shit, I can't show it off now. Look at him after I finish this next race. He looks like he's so squished inside it. Like his body is so big. And then it's supposed to fit inside this tiny card. Something about that just does not look right. The proportions are so fucked up. What? Oh fuck, that counts as off-road. Of course it does. That's what I get for trying to be creative and using a shortcut. Thank you, Nintendo. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, you piece of shit. Okay, maybe this will count. Okay, it counted that, thank God. If it didn't, I would have literally rage quit. Ooh. Okay, I'll hold on to this for now. Who's in first right now? Toad! Oh, Toad! Hey, that bump is shaped like a toad! DUI? No. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna be a little more careful this time. Okay, there we go, that worked. Damn, I still can't seem to be able to catch up to first though. I'll need more mushrooms. Oh, give me strength! Oh, fuck. Well, at least I'm in third now. Fourth. Mario! Oh, Mario, screw you. And now I'm back in sixth. Okay, this track doesn't seem to like me all that much. Wait, did I just now remembered, I played this track in Mario Kart 64 too. I think I was also having a tough time with this there. Damn. I guess some things never change, huh? Yeah, at this point I would need some incredibly good item just to even make a comeback here. I would need an item overall, first of all. Okay, good. Oh! Again, sure, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know how much it's gonna help me. It's possible, but I would need something really good here. Another one. Okay, use the mushroom now. I'll take second. Never mind, I'll take first. Let's go. Peach, did you slow down for me? You do know I'm Bowser, right? You should not slow down for this guy. He kidnaps you like every other Thursday. I think, I don't know. Okay, that was lucky right there. That was extremely lucky. Next up, GBA Bowser Castle 2. Isn't this... Oh, thank God, no, it's not Bowser Castle 3. I have bad memories of that track. This track also provides the same heavy metal power though. And with it, I shall actually win this time, because this game actually has good controls. That's right, screw you, Super Circuit. Your controls fucking suck. Look at this, I can control myself around these corners so much fucking better. Now I'm just flying around here. Hope someone will fall for that. Toad, I'm gonna run you over again. Don't test me. Oh my God, yes, this track is actually playable now. I love it. This is such a big change going from Super Circuit to this. My God, this is so much better. I can actually control where I'm moving. When I go left, I actually go left. I don't go outside too much, and it's not so slippery as it was. This is fucking peak. I love this track. And I just now noticed how fitting it is that I'm playing as Bowser here, considering this is one of his castles, so... Hey, perfect. For the record, I did not pay very close attention to the tracks that were in this cup when I chose him, so... Lucky coincidence, I guess. And wow, I'm just front running here. Hey, where is everybody? I guess they're gone, they're dead. Bowser's legs! Look at his legs! They're so cramped in that little thing. That does not look comfortable. Are you sure you're okay there? Actually, why am I concerned about Bowser's safety? Never mind, scratch that. I don't care about him. Bowser, I need you to stay in this cart. Suffer more! And here we are on Baby Park. This is probably, by many people, considered to be the poorest choice for a track to bring back in this game, because in Double Dash, Baby Park was special because of all the crazy chaos that you could cause with the special items, especially the Bowser Shell. Now that all of that is gone, it literally is just, you know, a small track that loops every now and then. And the lap count has gone down. It's no longer 7 laps, now it's just 5. So, yeah, the track definitely lost a lot of its, a lot of the things that made it so special in the first place. And the same thing goes for when it was brought back in Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe as well. Because, you know, that game also has no special items. Or at least it doesn't have the Bowser Shell. So, you know, a lot of things missing there, but oh well, what can I say? Nintendo chose to bring this track back, and at least we have it, I guess. Oh, you know, we also have another perfect score. I wonder what rank this is gonna be. It is a 1-star rank this time. Okay, sure, I'll take it. At least it's still a star rank overall. Leaf Cup has been added. Okay, now, played as Luigi, Peach. Have we played as Toad before? I don't entirely know. Wait, I just noticed. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 8 characters in total, at least right now, without any of the unlockables. And there's 8 cups, which means I can actually showcase every starting character, so long as I don't accidentally pick one double. So, I went with Wario, I went with him, I went with DK. Yeah, I guess the only 2 characters that I'm missing now are Toad and Mario. I'll go with Mario next. I'm gonna go with the B-Dasher, because that card was actually brought back in Mario Kart World, and I've been using it a lot on there. So, yeah, let's go. Leaf Cup is up next, and then we have Koopa Beach 2, Choco Mountain, Luigi Circuit, and Shroom Bridge. I will be very disappointed once we get to Shroom Bridge, because, like I pointed out in the Double Dash version of it, it has a very special shortcut that has just been completely removed. in this version of it, and it's genuinely sad. Do not fall in the water, Mario. Do not fall in the water. Okay, thank God. That wasn't exactly the best start, I'm gonna be honest, especially considering this is once again a Super Nintendo track, so it's rather basic. There's not too many shortcuts you can take here, considering it's... well, it's literally a circle. Look at the map. Not much to this one, honestly. Alright, Toad, I'm gonna beat you, and then I'm gonna choose you for the next Grand Prix, so don't worry. You'll get your spotlight, little buddy. But not for now. You don't want to get driven over again, do you? Alright. And that's Koopa Beach. Not much to say about this one, honestly. I guess I can see why they put it in here. It was a pretty easy choice. It was easy to make. It's just super basic. It's just a circle. And they were like, yeah, that should be pretty easy to put in here. Nothing too complex. And now we have Choco Mountain. And it is actually a mountain this time. Not like what they did in World, where they basically turned it into a shell of its former self. Like, what the hell is that stuff? Where did the mountain go? Desert Hills has lost its hills, and Choco Mountain is just Choco now. In fact, it's not even Choco because it still doesn't look like chocolate. It's clearly mud. But I don't know. But at least we can be happy to see a proper Choco Mountain here. My star! Is my star still there? Yes, it's still there. I want to use this, and even if I don't get to use it whenever I want now, I still actually want to have a chance to use it. Maybe I'll get another one. Ooh, golden mushroom. Okay, I'll take it. The characters only have 2 voice lines for using an item, so Mario just says, "Take this!" and yeah! And you'll hear those voice lines over and over again. Yeah, there you go. It's just that. I see you there, Toad. I know you're gonna use that shell on me. But that concerns me. Come on, forward, back. Oh, no, you flew it forwards. Oh, wait. I see that. Yes, perfectly timed. Okay. I think that's the first time I've done that. Like, I saw that someone had a blue shell and used it, so I stopped in time for Toad to take first. Then he took the hit before me. Once again, bottom screen is just broken. That's probably also why we're never gonna get another Mario Kart that has this mechanic. Not only because I think Nintendo is not doing another double screen console, especially because there are no more handheld consoles with Nintendo. Now it's all hybrid, which I guess makes sense. It's a cool concept. I like it. But yeah, Mario Kart is probably never going to have double screens again. Which is sad, because it really had a lot of good things about it. I'm gonna miss it. Mario Kart 7 and DS were so good because of that. But oh well. I guess part of the fun in Mario Kart is the fact that you can't predict what's happening most of the time, and that factor just kinda got completely removed once you had a bottom screen where you could always see what item everyone had. I can see how that would be a big problem. Alright, I hope someone trips over that. Did I just trip myself up with my own... Yeah, it doesn't matter, I got first anyway, but that was just silly. I have no idea why I did that. Alright, next course. GBA Luigi Circuit, the one with the rain. Even though we already had Luigi Circuit earlier, and it was a good one too. Double dash. Now I gotta race on this one instead. And what even is so Luigi about this? Like, with the double dash one, I can see why it's Luigi's Circuit, because if you look closely, you could actually see Luigi's Mansion, the restored one that you get after you complete the game, in the background of it. So at least that one definitely had something like some Luigi energy in it, if you want. Luinergy, or something. But this one, all it really has is just Luigi's face on a few things, and aside from that, it's just a generic looking track. There's no mansion in the background, nothing. So really, they just made a generic looking track and called it there. That's Luigi's Circuit now. I think same thing goes for Peach Circuit, although, no wait, no, Peach Circuit actually had a castle in the back, so that one made sense. This one, not so much. So, yeah, don't really understand the reason for why they put this in here. Especially considering it's raining. Nobody likes rain, come on. Especially because of that, it can do that. It can cause you to fall into the puddles. But you can jump over them with the right timing. Okay, gotta catch up to Luigi and Toad now. Ah, damn, that could have hit them. Okay, Luigi tripped on the puddle as well. Come on. Toad, I'm gonna run you over again. Okay, good. A mushroom in first place. This is actually very useful. Especially considering if you're skilled enough, you can use a mushroom to dodge a blue shell. However, I don't know the exact timing for DS anymore, so if a blue shell were to appear, I would probably still get hit anyway. But I know the timing for 8 Deluxe, World, and Wii. So at least I could show it there, but it doesn't matter, because I won the race. Not a single blue shell in sight. Alright, looks like it's time for the final track of the Leaf Cup. Shroom Bridge. Alright, I hope you guys still remember how Shroom Bridge looked in Double Dash, because you're gonna want to pay close attention to this one. Alright, first things first. The little shortcut with the pipe over here, which funny enough, the pipe is still there. It's not here anymore. Like, the pipe is still there, but there's no path up to it as far as I know. This shortcut right here is still there, so at least there's that, I guess. But the part that I was talking about is coming up in a second. Sorry, Wario, that was cool. Here it is. You can no longer drive up the sides of the bridge here. It's completely blocked off by some random gates. What the hell, Nintendo? I know it wasn't actually that much faster than just, you know, taking the bottom path, but it was neat, and it was a way to show off, like, how skillful of a driver you were, because you had to be pretty careful, or you would fall off, and that would make it all worthless. Like, I personally really liked it. I thought it was a neat shortcut, but apparently Nintendo thought, nah, that's useless. No one's gonna want to use that again. I don't know. Like, can you even call it a proper retro track if they're not gonna bring everything back from it? Like, I know some retro tracks tend to make, like, they add a few things, like maybe a new shortcut here or there, but that's the thing, they only add new shortcuts and sometimes keep the old ones, usually almost all the time. They don't ever get rid of a shortcut that was already there. They only add new ones. Not with this. And I find that kinda sad. Not that it matters though. It's looking pretty good here. Mushrooms on the road. Perfect. I'll take that. Thank you very much. I can time this just right. Okay, I wasn't able to time it perfectly. I wanted to get hit right as I passed the finish line, but maybe like a second before. Alright, there we go. That is another... Wow, I just now noticing. I think I got like a perfect score in all the retro Grand Prix. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. And it looks like we got a 2-star rank. Alright, time to see if the Lightning Cup will follow in the same vein as the others, or if this will be the only one where I actually don't get a near perfect score. And we're gonna go with Toad in the Marshmallow, because it makes sense. Mushroom man driving in the mushroom cart, being controlled by a mushroom creature. It makes so much sense. It might not have the best speed, but it's got good acceleration, so that should be helpful. And wow, that's just crazy. Just now noticing, I got so many star rankings except for the Flower and Special Cup. I gotta do good in this one. I have to finish it with at least a 1-star rank in all the Retro Cups. Choco Island 2. Let's get it. Once again, I don't see the chocolate in this one, especially because the track is like... It's like mostly orange. Like, what about this screams chocolate to you? It's not even brown. This looks more like... Actually, I don't even know what does this look like. I mean, this right here, this is clearly brown, yes. And this could potentially be seen as like... Maybe a hot chocolate lake or something. But the rest of the track just looks like... Yellow-orange stuff, I don't know. You know what? I'll leave it up to you guys in the comments. If you've watched up until now, let me know what you guys think this track looks like. Because it's not chocolate, I'll tell you that much. Aside from this one part, it is not chocolate. Nuh-uh. Something else. But at least the music's rather nice. Okay, barely managed to make that turn. Thank God for the outside drifting. And you won't hear me, you're not gonna hear me praise outside drift much longer. Trust me, by the time we get to Mario Kart Wii, which, looking at the current subscriber count, by the way, should be soon, I gotta thank you guys for all the support that I've been getting over the last couple of days. It's genuinely crazy to me. It might be soon, and trust me, once we get to Mario Kart Wii, you will not hear me praise outside drifting anymore. It's gonna be inside only. But yeah, I've been noticing over the last few days that I've uploaded the Road to Mario Kart Wii videos, as well as the few shorts that I've posted up until now. They've been getting a lot of views and likes and comments from you guys, and I appreciate that so much. It makes me feel really happy to know that people out there actually, like, genuinely enjoy my content and want to see more. Some people would even go so far as to call it absolute cinema or peak, and when I saw that, honestly, that just made my entire day, or night, depending on when I saw it. So I really look forward to making more content for all you guys, and I'm extremely excited for when the big 50 is finally going to be achieved, and we will finally reach the end of the road, as you could say. The end of the road trip, essentially. This long road trip that we have been on to finally reach the best Mario Kart ever, in my personal opinion. And trust me, it will be a very big event once we actually get there. Now this track right here, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show it off in this video, but let's just say there's something special about Mario Kart DS. Usually when I play this game, since I've already played through all the Grand Prix and stuff and done a lot of time trials, when I boot it up, I usually just tend to play versus races, and I tend to always select random, as well as I think like 10 races, and I'm not sure why, but I think the random aspect of this game isn't actually random, because every single time, without fail, trust me, every single time when I select random and 10 races, the game always picks this track first, N64 Banshee Boardwalk, every single time. It could be that is for the European version, and it's not something else for this one, because this is the American one. But yeah, I hope I can show that off. And that's why I've played this track probably the most out of any other track in this entire game, because it's always the first one that the game picks for me. And that's what leads me to believe maybe this game, like the random option, isn't actually random, and depending on the number of races you pick, as well as the difficulty of CPUs maybe, or something else, it just predetermines which races you're gonna do. Because it couldn't have been a lucky coincidence that this track is just always the first one I get. That couldn't have been. And oh yeah, that acceleration is much better than I've had before. In general, I'm doing pretty good so far on this Grand Prix. Okay, let's time this right. Nah, that was not good timing, but I can do this. There we go. Right, that was a pretty good lap, I would say. So far, once again, perfect score. Nothing to complain about. Let's try the next one. Sky Garden, yes! This is one of those tracks that has been brought back. Well, honestly, I'm trying to think right now how many times it's been brought back. Obviously, first time was in Super Circuit. Then it was brought back in this game. I'm trying to remember right now. I think it might have already been brought back in 7. Oh my god, it just got bumped off. But I'm not entirely sure. It could have also just been brought back in 8. But why do I have a memory of it being in 7? It might have been. If that's the case, this is one of those tracks that was brought back a lot throughout Mario Kart history. Like 4 times in total. I can see why, honestly, because the music is just so cool. Okay, 5th. That is not good. I want to keep a perfect score here if I can, so I gotta get some good items. Alright, another triple mushrooms. Oh god. Well, I'm definitely not gonna get first if I keep doing things the way I'm doing them now, so I gotta pull off something good here. Oh no! Oh my goodness! Oh, that gave me a heart attack! I almost fell off again. Okay, that paid off, but I should never ever do that again. I might not survive another one. Jesus. Okay, come on now, just drive carefully, don't do that. Not like I can, I don't have a mushroom anymore. Right, that is fine. That's gonna slow down the CPUs behind me. In fact, you know what makes the blooper even more useless in this game? You can just look at the bottom screen. Yes, the top screen, you know, is full of blooper ink, but the bottom screen isn't. So, if you really have trouble seeing what's on the top, you can just look at the bottom screen and see where you're going. And like I said before, it's completely possible to just play this game using the bottom screen only. So, yeah, the blooper item is probably the most useless in the game that introduced it. Which is just so dumb. Alright, perfect score still. Time to take a look at what the final track in Mario Kart DS is. Oh, Yoshi Circuit! Why didn't I end it with... Well, I guess I had to show off every character. Yoshi Circuit, my favorite. What a great track to end it on. I will say though, once again, much like with Mushroom Bridge, this track removed one of the major shortcuts from it. Granted, I don't think I showed this one off while I was playing Double Dash, so you probably don't know about it. But yeah, once again, another shortcut that was pretty obscure to find, but skipped a major part of the track, just did not return for this one. I don't know what it is with that, but Nintendo just decided, hey, we're gonna bring these tracks back, but two of the really cool shortcuts that people would use, we're just not gonna include it. Because, I don't know, fuck you, that's why. And there we go. Red Shell came in clutch there because, as you saw, he had a banana. It hit him anyway. So the fact that the Red Shell can hit you even if you have something behind you can be seen as a good thing and a bad thing depending on the situation that you're in. This right here is a shortcut if you have a mushroom. That was at least kept. But yeah. The other one is somewhere shortly following this. Let me try to remember because I didn't take it last time and I don't use it that often. I think it's right about here, yeah. If you drive off the track over here, there's a little opening in the wall that you can take. And it takes you through a little tunnel. And then I think it comes out somewhere around here. And so yeah, it skips a big part of the track. It's pretty useful. You will need mushrooms to take it. But yeah, it's pretty neat. And then they remove it. For no reason whatsoever. Alright, there we go, triple bananas. I should be pretty safe from the red shells now, thanks to that. Tend to do some snaking. Alright, just gotta get on here. Oh, a lot of bananas there. Oh crap, no, not now. This is a bad position to be. Actually, never mind. Everyone's gone. Alright, there we go. First place. Perfect score in every single Retro Cup. That's a pretty good way to end the series, I would personally say. Alright, now the question that still remains is, what rank did I get? What's my final score? 2 stars! Thank you! That's pretty cool. I like the trophy here too. That looks very nice. Definitely gives off that shock feeling. Alright, mirror class has been added to the racing classes. I'm not gonna be showing it off here, but yeah, it's mirror mode. What do you expect? It's the same as every other game. And here we are now at the credits. These credits have such a nice and relaxing theme that honestly, I don't feel like skipping them. I just want to show them. And I'm gonna do that. That is just such a nice theme, honestly. There's more, but that's basically the main part of it. It is so good. Oh wait, I'm just now noticing. Actually, no, the credits cannot be skipped here, so I guess I have to keep rolling them. This is one of those tracks that, like, if I'm at a beach, for example, and I just want to lay down and relax, this is one of the tracks that I would definitely put on, and it would just put me to sleep in, like, just a few minutes. Here we go, here we got the credits for the Wi-Fi connection, the general management, system development, all that good stuff. A lot of development went into this whole Wi-Fi connection thing. Too bad they shut it down only a few years later. I mean, it was probably like 10 years, so about a decade, but still it sucks that they shut it down in the first place. Mario Kart Wii and DS were definitely probably the most played games on their respective systems, because it was just so much fun. Granted, Wii in general had more things to do in online than DS did, but still, if you wanted Mario Kart on the go at the time, this was the only way. You couldn't play Mario Kart Wii whenever you wanted to. You had to wait until you were at a place that actually had a Wii for it. Otherwise, DS is what you played, and it was a great one. And with that, we've reached the end of the road for now. Thanks for playing, and thank you guys for watching this amazing series. It's been a pleasure for me to do this. And I guess, yeah, we will see the final installment of this series once we reach Mario Kart Wii along with 50 subscribers, and I will start streaming. Now I will end this off, however, by showing what I was talking about earlier with versus mode. So I'm gonna choose what I usually always go with, Yoshi in the Cucumber, 150cc, CPU's easy, course will be random, and the rules will be 10 races. Let's see if this is correct. It is not. Okay, it chooses this track now. I do want to check though. So it chose this track this time. If I go with the exact same settings again, will it choose the same track again? Easy, random, races 10. Just to show if my theory was actually correct. It is not! Okay, well, I guess I'll have to take back what I said, because it seems like now it is actually randomized what track you get. Okay, that's neat. I guess you'll just have to trust me that when I played this on my original DS, on the European version, it always chose Banshee Boardwalk first. But anyways, that's the end of this video, and I hope you guys had a great time watching it, and I'll see you guys next time, whatever I might be doing then. My head is off to you guys. See you around.